Conceive, believe, achieve. Shut the f*** up.
Undisputed UFC middleweight champion of the world, Michael the Count Bisping.
This is Believe You Me on the Gas Digital Network.
Here we are. It's another episode of Believe You Me. Brand new setup, Michael Bisping. You look better, you sound better. I look better, I sound better. What's up, my friend?
A brand new setup. Can you believe it? What? Episode 70. Only took us 70 episodes to catch up with the rest of the podcast. But we did it, and now we are officially taking over. Yeah. Full. Are we in full HD? Is this 1080p, as the kids call it?
Is that what it is? Is it
or
1080p?
Technical people?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are. That's right. Well, if you're Gas Digital, subscriber, it is anyway. Michael Bisping, very happy to have you back for another show. I like doing them over Skype. I like doing them in person as well. We're going to be linking up at the end of this month. I'm coming back out the 18th through the 23rd, which is going to be very exciting.
Hold on. Listen, I got bad news for you, Lewis.
What happened?
Well, listen, as you know, I'm a very, very busy man, and we're breaking this live on the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. But I know you have a huge fight coming up, like a world-class mixed martial arts fight against a comedian. And everybody's, that's going to be a big pay-per-view seller, and you're taking it very seriously, and rightly so, you should.
I mean, probably better than UFC 225, to be honest.
I am also, in my own right, Lewis, a very, very busy man. Yeah. And it happened... listen, I sat here and I tried to think of a lie, and I thought, I can't lie. I'll be honest. I am also going on vacation. I'm going on a trip with my family, Lewis. And the problem is, if I stay here for your trip, that means I can't go on my trip.
Where's your trip,
do I put Lewis first, or do I put me and my beautiful children and wife first? Because I'm away most weekends.
Where's your trip?
That doesn't matter.
It does matter.
What do you mean? I've got a family vacation planned, and that's the only weekend we can go.
If it's Mexico, come on, dude. You can do that anytime.
Well, no, we can't do it anytime because that's the problem. The kids are off school. Callum has wrestling camp. Callum has 2 wrestling camps, a little shit. I'll be honest. Callum's kind of the fly in the ointment here, if I'm honest. But weekends are sacred. This weekend I'm away. International Fight Week coming up this week, of course. We'll get into that very soon. I've got some other fights. I'm going to be in Calgary for the UFC. The UFC are going back there. So, obviously, now I'm not retiring. I'm doing a lot more of the commentating stuff and the desk work and this and that. So, I'm super busy, Lewis. And the only weekend I have free in the whole of January is that exact weekend. Now, if you want to come on another weekend, you're welcome. But I'll probably be in Calgary or Vegas or somewhere like that. But you're welcome to come. That is my only weekend. So, no. Go on. Complain.
Well, I was going to say my world-class championship training, I had 2 specific weeks that I was supposed to come out and train with you. Now you're telling me one of them is fucking gone.
Well, no, I'm just telling you to reschedule. I'm saying with the greatest of respect, Luis J. Gomez, that you're going to have to reschedule. Or come out, I'll set you up. Come train with Perillo. Come train with Brady Fink. Come train with my team. But I'm going to be busy. I'm going to be doing something else. And now I haven't pulled the plug yet and booked flights. That's why I texted you this morning and I said, have you booked your flights? And you said no. Okay? So there's no big deal.
And this is something
no big deal.
You should sort of understand this because I'm a fine-tuned athlete, okay? My body, it peaks at certain times. There's valleys. There's times when I'm on. There's times when I'm off. So I've already mentally prepared for the 18th through the 23rd to be doing world-class training, Michael Bisping, Ruka Training Center, Perillo there. I was expecting the entire team, everybody, including you, and now you're pulling out and you're saying that's not happening on that date. Unless I change my entire
I've never pulled out of a fight in my life, and I've never pulled out of a training camp. But I am giving you advance, prior notice, warning,
I've never pulled
whatever
out,
you want to call it, that I'm not going to be there.
Okay,
that's all I'm saying. I'm saying you can come, but my family comes first. It always has done. Family first, Lewis. Family first, buddy. What would you do? Okay. Let's put it the other way.
Okay,
Lewis. When is something really good happening with James that you've got that James has got his heart set on?
I'm going to L.A. to Michael Bisping's house to watch me train from the 18th to the 23rd.
I knew you were going to say that. But other than that, what is something big that is coming up in James's calendar?
Yeah, that was really it. That was kind of the big kahuna right there.
Well,
That
if it
big old
was,
moment.
would you cancel it? If I said I'm coming to New York and you had a trip planned with James,
Yeah.
would you cancel it?
I would look at my face and I would say, Michael Bisping would never cancel something on you, James. Don't you worry about that.
Yeah,
He's too
I'm
good
not
of a man.
canceling. You are.
Yeah.
I'm canceling on you. You're canceling on James. I'd
Yeah.
never cancel anything on James. I'm canceling on you.
I'm fine. I'm very flexible with the date. I didn't buy the flights yet.
Just come and see me another time. That is literally the only
And
weekend. Dude, I'm going to train you. You can come out anytime. I will train. But hold on. I like the way you're coming at a weekend.
I'm going to come
You're coming at a weekend because you're working Monday to Friday.
That's not true.
Weekends, I work all the time. My family's always at home by themselves. On this weekend, we want to do something. You're welcome to come Monday to the Thursday, but you want to come Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, which are the exact dates that we're going.
What do you think? You think I'm a fucking? I work on Wall Street. I'm a comedian. I work the weekends. I can make my own schedule. It doesn't matter. This isn't a big deal.
What do you? Do I work on Wall Street? I also work weekends, Lewis. I work weekends.
Kind of.
And we want to go on vacation. I do apologize.
I
can't see you, by the way, Shannon. Can I see Lewis at all? I need to. All I see is a very handsome image of "Believe You Me."
That's a nice Legion of Skanks T-shirt you're wearing right there too, my friend.
It's a beautiful shirt. I do like. Hey guys, check them out. Legion. There we go. Legion of Skanks. I see. Oh, Lewis by the fireplace as well. That's
right.
Go.
We don't fuck around here at Gas.
Yeah. Let me see the heartbreak. Now I can see you. Let me see the heartbreak on your face.
Oh, I was really hurt for a minute.
Are you sad?
No, I'm going to come.
Get over it.
I'm only coming to train with you, so it's not like my trip is planned around like, oh, I'll get some training with Bisping. I'm specifically coming to train with you. So I told you, let me know whatever dates.
I know. And you did it. Okay, you asked me how those dates were of the 18th to the 23rd. I'm answering the question. They're not good because I'm going to be in San Francisco.
San Francisco.
That's where I'm going, to San Francisco.
Oh my God!
I didn't want to say. I knew you'd have something to say.
Oh my God! You're gonna fucking go play grab ass with homeless people.
Well, whatever it is, we've never been. We're trying to explore the country. We've got one weekend. My wife is putting me under pressure to do something with the kids. We're going to go there. I don't know. We're going to go check it out, have a walk around. But yeah, Lewis, any other time, bro.
We'll do another day. We'll do weekdays.
Mi casa, su casa, as they say.
I know.
And I'm coming to New York as well, so we'll train you up there.
When you
come down here. I'm going to be in Vegas. I don't know. I haven't booked it, but I'm going to come. On a lighter note, did you see 10 days ago, there was a heartbreaking story. A Thai football coach, soccer coach for you guys, went down some caves. They went potholing down some caves. And
they were 11 to 16 years old. Kids, like real kids.
11 to 16. Yeah, real kids. 11 to 16-year-old. The coach was 22 years old. They went down these caves, popular tourist destination. They went potholing, as you call it, just exploring the caves and whatnot. And then a huge flood happened. And unfortunately, they didn't come out. And I was watching this on the news. And every day I'd see an update. And after a few days, unfortunately, you do start to think the worst. And then I kept seeing the updates. I was watching it kind of closely,
Yeah, even after a few hours. I mean, you hear something like that, and immediately you go. I mean, if you're a member of the family, you're probably holding out for some crazy hope. But as a person, who was in another country halfway across the world, I remember my girlfriend told me about it, and I was like, God, what a shame. There was no part of me that was like, she was like, oh, these kids are still missing. There was no part of me that's like, oh, they're going to find these kids alive. I'd be surprised if they even found them in general.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that or if that was my thoughts. I must admit, every time I saw it came on and it was showing images of their parents and whatnot, I just thought, oh, man, this is so heartbreaking. It's just terrible. And, a big group of kids, as you said, 11 kids, was it? 10 kids? And, man, I mean, talk about a tragedy. And anyway, long story short, and this is why I wanted to mention it, because there's so much sadness going on in the world, so much fucked up shit happening all day, every day. And then fortunately today we had a bit of good news. Of course, there's still bad things happening every day, but they've all been found. They've all been found in the cave in Thailand. They're all alive. The rescue mission is still to take place, so to speak. Some divers, I hope I'm not getting this wrong, but we see footage of them there.
Yeah.
They're alive, they're well, they're obviously in a dry spot, God bless them. And they've been down there for 10 days.
They're ready to play.
Yeah, well, ready to play. Not quite, buddy, not quite. I don't think they're having any Thai boxing matches anytime soon. They've still got to get them out, so that's going to be a big,
they're still down
big
there.
operation. Yeah, they're still down there because they got to get out. They're going to have to dive their way out, but they're so tired right now. Obviously, down there for 10 days. I don't know if you can drink that water, but they certainly had no food. They must be drinking that water to still be alive for 10 days.
If it's flood water, it's not salt water.
Yeah, exactly. So they can drink now, but they're very, very weak. And they got to get them out. So they're gonna have to bring diving apparatus down. They're gonna give them some like energy gels and things like that. They put the diving mask on, and so still not over. But man, I breathed a sigh of relief. I was at the gym this morning, and it came up. I was like, wow, amazing. I was so happy,
Yeah, that is really amazing. And the fact that it's still going on, I didn't know that. I'm just one of these ignorant Americans.
If you read the story, Lewis, that I sent you, if you just did the due diligence of reading the story, that's all you had to do.
Well, this is what I was going to say. Was I'm one of these ignorant Americans where I just read the headlines, whether it's because I'm ignorant
it didn't happen in America.
Yeah,
it didn't happen in America, so therefore you don't care, right?
I saw Thai. And then I got hungry. I was like, I'm hungry. Thai food sounds delicious. And then I stopped reading the headline.
Yeah. Thai? Why do I care what's going on outside of America? Why are you bothering me with such nonsense?
Yeah.
Greatest country in America.
Mike, real quick, got to talk about Infinite CBD, which has been hooking the show up recently. Now, me, I'm a weed smoker. You're not, though. You're a family man. You're a role model. You're an athlete. CBD is a whole different thing now, because if you don't know what it is the chemical in hemp or marijuana that does not get you high. It has all of these amazing medical benefits, 100% legal, doesn't show up on drug tests. The idea is it helps your body's endocannabinoid system keep balanced and sharp and all that stuff. I'm sure you know what that means, Michael Bisping.
Yeah, no, absolutely. In fact, I was trying to explain this to my son recently because he saw the Infinite CBD products in the house and he was like, oh, CBD, eh, Dad? I'm like, no, son, listen to me. This is for medical use. It's nothing to do with getting high or anything like that. It's actually, the medical strain, if you will, which helps with inflammation and all that type of stuff. I use their freezing topical cream for aches and pains and to keep me training, keep me running, keep me in the gym. I don't know if I've mentioned it. My neck is killing right now. And at the start of the show, well, before we went live, you said my wife was rubbing it in and massaging me. That's what she was doing. She was rubbing it in and smell my hands. They smell absolutely delightful. I don't know where I'm going with this. It seems to sound a bit
Infinite CBD just takes a shot of Michael Bisping going, smell my hands. They're absolutely delightful.
It smells so good.
That's the best endorsement
but
for
it's
any
got
product.
peppermint oil, known as a natural painkiller and a muscle relaxant. It also has eucalyptus oil, helps with relieving pain and stress to your skin, and of course, CBD.
Yeah.
I recommend this. It works great on stiff joints and sore muscles.
Not only does it reduce inflammation, there's a whole plethora, and that's the first time I've ever used that word in a sentence. There's a whole plethora of things that it helps with: anxiety, pain relief. I smoke a lot of weed. I got a kid. I can't show up at his preschool high. So in the morning, I smoke a little bit of CBD. It kind of balances me out for the day. If you go online and just do a little bit of research, CBD is a huge, huge, huge market right now, and it's helping so many different people out. Give it a shot. Michael Bisping, I don't know if you know this, because I know you said your dad smoked cigarettes.
Yeah.
This
big time.
A friend of mine quit smoking cigarettes by switching to a CBD vape, which is just
all these
healthy benefits, and they're still getting the oral fixation of smoking. Great.
Yeah, but you know what my dad said when I told him I was retiring? All right. That's exactly what he would say if I suggested that to him. Lewis's friend used it to quit smoking, Dad. He'd go, all right. Are you going to fucking do anything about that? No, not a fucking thing. Sorry, Lewis.
All right. How can they get hooked up here?
Now, how do I get some of this amazing product, you ask yourself? It's okay. We got you covered. Go to the website, infinitecbd.com, or you can click the link in our episode description and use the promo code BELIEVE. You will get 15% off any purchase. So once again, That's infinitecbd.com. I know, Lewis, it's crazy. Infinitecbd.com. Use the promo code BELIEVE. 15% off any of their amazing products. Or you can go to the episode description and click the link, which will take you right there. 4th of July this week, buddy. Big day for you guys.
Our Independence
I'm
Day.
so excited.
The day that we
excited.
beat the shit out of the Queen of England. We took a shit all over the flag. We said, you know what? USA.
Is that what happened?
USA. That's what happened.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, it was George Washington versus the Queen of England in a boxing match. Second round TKO. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, obviously I wasn't there at that time, and it isn't taught in our schools. You know, it's not a big moment for us. You know, you guys love to talk about it, of course. But, 4th of July, so that's good. But the main thing happening this week for me, obviously, is UFC 226 International Fight Week. Hall of Fame inductees. We've got the TUF Final, TUF 27. We've got UFC 226. A lot of stuff going on, Lewis.
Hall of Fame inductions.
Where do you want to start?
That's fun. Can you watch those live? Are they on Fight Pass or something?
I think so. If you have Fight Pass, you can watch them live.
That's awesome. I kind of dig award shows just in general. Like, not stupid, like I don't really give a shit about the Grammys or any of that shit, but just like an award show for something like this that you care about, it's kind of fun. You know, Hall of Fame, you know, Art Davie, one of the founders of the UFC. Matt Serra is going to be inducted. Ronda Rousey, I think that makes sense. Who's Bruce Connell?
Bruce Connell was a producer that worked in, you know, one of the main producers, worked backstage for years and years, I believe, and he passed away quite tragically earlier this year. So he's getting inducted for that. Matt Serra, of course, man, come on, he was a champion at one point, old school, one of the original guys. I'm not sure when he made his debut in the UFC, but Matt Serra, come on, he's been around forever. Ronda Rousey, say no more. You know, the first female champ, the most dominant champ, won tons of fights. All makes sense. Who else?
I think that's all I have on this list here.
And then you got Dan Henderson. Dan Henderson versus Shogun as the fight that they're going to put in, which I remember watching that fight live. Dan Henderson versus Shogun won. Yeah. And man, it was. Did you watch it, Lewis?
Doggy, I was in Puerto Rico in El Yunque rainforest on vacation with my girlfriend at the time. At this time, I was obsessed with the UFC. This was when there was a UFC once every couple months, maybe once a month if you got fucking lucky, right? Before TV deals, before anything. It was the same night as Michael Chandler versus Bellator, which was like Eddie Alvarez, Michael Chandler, which would have been fight of the year had this fight not happened. Henderson Shogun, I watched it. I had this little Puerto Rican lady get it on pay-per-view to the fucking cabin in the rainforest, and I watched it as my girlfriend was furious that I was spending our vacation watching two dudes roll around in a fucking cage. And it was nonstop action-packed excitement. Those guys, this is when like they were both on top in the UFC, and they just threw everything they had at each other, and that was a really, really incredible fight.
Yeah, I actually watched that at a friend of mine. He was having a barbecue at his house, and it wasn't long after UFC 100, if I'm not mistaken. So obviously, everybody was trying to talk shit about me and make fun of me. But yeah, that makes sense. So anyway, so that's the Hall of Fame ceremony. Catch it on Fight Pass Live if you happen to be very bored. Let's be honest. If you happen to be very bored with nothing else to do, no kids, no family, no hobbies, no pastime, nothing like that. If you've really literally got nothing going on, you've listened to this episode of the podcast, sign into Fight Pass and watch it. Okay?
When you listen to it, you got to watch this episode of the podcast.
I'll be in Vegas. I'm not even going to go watch it live. Okay? Unless I'm part of the fucking ceremony, I don't want to hear about it.
Well, what happened here, Michael Bisping? No induction for Michael Bisping. Retires this year. It's a big deal. What happened
It's a touchy subject, Lewis. It's a very touchy subject.
You know what? You usually don't pull punches.
Move on. Quick. Abort mission. Abort mission. I said, if I'm not in that fucking Hall of Fame, we don't fucking talk about it on this podcast, Lewis.
That's it. So why would you watch it? Why would you watch the Hall of Fame ceremony?
Would you watch such shit?
You guys can probably... Is there... What is that? Is that me? Sorry. Is there like a write-in?
Oh, Jesus.
Is there like a write-in?
Turn the phone off, Lewis, or silent at least.
I already silenced it, actually. I don't know what the fuck happened there. Shut the fuck up.
Anyway, so that's that. So, all right, thank God the Thai kids are safe. We got a Hall of Fame ceremony going. No, I don't know why you're laughing at that. I'm absolutely serious. DC John Jones, we talked about them last week. Obviously, DC was trying to say that he deserves to be in the regarded as the greatest of all time if he beats Stipe Miocic. Now, that is the big thing. If he beats Stipe Miocic. I'm going to start it like this by just saying, Lewis, do you believe he will beat Stipe Miocic?
Back against the wall, got to pick one. Absolutely.
Jesus Christ. Oh, you do?
No. I'm saying if my back's against the wall and I have to absolutely pick one, because there's a difference, and you know this, Bisping. There's a difference between just picking somebody to win and then deep down in your heart of hearts, if somebody's got a gun to your mother's head and you got to pick one, what are you going to put it really down on the line for? Part of us want to be right, and sometimes we lean toward the underdog sometimes, or we lean toward a unique perspective or whatever it is. So in my heart, I'm saying, yeah, I think Cormier is going to win this fight. I think he's going to do it. I really do. But I think if
I had a gun to your head, or
my mother said, say it, Michael.
If I had a gun to James's head, so the stakes are high.
Yeah.
And you had one choice, and you get it right, and you get it wrong, and he gets a bullet in the head.
I would say,
who would you go with?
First round technical disqualification, and I'd yell freedom into the air.
Yeah, you're like, I never liked that little shit in the first place. Get rid of him.
Shit. No, what I think I picked Stipe because look, I saw Cormier get knocked out by John Jones. We know he can get knocked out. This is what Stipe does. It's just really hard. I'm so down the middle on it. In my heart, and kind of what I want to happen is Cormier to win, and I think he can. I think he has the skill set, but it's really tough to pick.
Yeah, it's a difficult one, especially when you like both guys so much. I mean, DC's a great guy. Obviously, I work with him a lot over at Fox, and he's a really, really good dude, and he's actually looking out for Callum. Obviously, Callum's going to be going to college soon, and DC's putting us in contact with wrestling coaches and colleges and all that type of stuff. So, he's been fantastic, and I think a lot of him. On the flip side, you got Stipe Miocic again, who you can't talk shit about Stipe Miocic. He's the heavyweight champion in the world. He's the most dominant heavyweight champion in the world. He's still a goddamn fireman. He's a nice guy. He's a humble dude. He's not out talking shit. Still works as a fireman. I mean, realistically, that says everything you need to know about this guy. So both guys, I'm a big fan of both. So making a pick is a difficult one. But when you look at Daniel Cormier, he was very good at heavyweight. He was 13-0. He won the Strikeforce tournament. And he would typically do it by walking forward, throwing combinations, closing the distance, and taking people down. Can he do that against Stipe Miocic? I don't think so, because Stipe is very, very athletic. When you look at a lot of the heavyweight roster, or the heavyweight roster back in the day, they were big guys that were plodding. They were kind of out of shape. They were good, but they weren't like, true athletic specimens. Stipe Miocic is a modern heavyweight. Stipe is a guy that could have played any sport. I believe he played baseball at a very high level. He's very athletic. He can knock people out going forwards, going backwards. He's fast. He can wrestle as well, not to mention being much, much bigger than Daniel Cormier. Now, the one thing that Stipe has, of course, is I think it's an 8-inch reach advantage, which is massive. That's huge. But DC has handled people like that before. John Jones, Alexander Gustafsson, and he didn't beat John Jones, pardon me. He beat Alexander Gustafsson. The first time he had a pretty close fight with John Jones.
Also,
obviously lost the second one by a head kick.
He started his career as a heavyweight, won the Strikeforce Grand Prix. He has wins over Frank Mir, Bigfoot Silva. Remember, he beat him to win the tournament. Josh Barnett, like huge heavyweights. So it's not like he can't handle guys that are bigger than him.
No, absolutely. No, he can. He can. I'm not saying that. But it's a different type of heaviness, if you will. Stipe is big, and he's long, and he's athletic, and he's fast, and he can move, and he's got footwork. He can wrestle, of course, as well. I mean, look what he did to Mark Hunt. He took Mark Hunt down and just held on top of him and just pounded him for 4 or 5 rounds until the ref stopped it. Might have even been a decision. I'm not sure. But he can dance around the place as well. Like most heavyweights just stand there. Gonzaga, Josh Barnett. I mean, no disrespect to these guys, but they stand right in front of you. Stipe can utilize a lot of footwork if he needs be. Remember when he fought Fabrizio Verdum, he was going backwards, Verdun was charging him with his chin up in the air, trying to throw punches, and Stipe was using great footwork, moving back, boom, landed a nice overhand right and put him to sleep. Not a lot of heavyweights can do that. He can do that, so he can fight going backwards. Of course, if he does get him down, Stipe will probably have a very good chance of getting back to his feet, being the bigger man. So I just think that both guys are very, very good and very closely matched. But I just think, well, when you have two guys that are very good and equally matched, you go with the bigger guy. The bigger guy can hit harder. We've seen that Stipe is a one-punch knockout guy. That's how he won the belt, and that's how he's defended it. He's going to get his big heavy hitters like Francis Ngannou and walk through that fire. So you've got to lean towards Stipe. But if DC can do it, he will rightly become probably one of the best fighters of all time, certainly in the discussions with Demetrius Johnson and people like that and your George St. Pierre's. He'll definitely be held in that kind of regard. Can he do it? I don't know. That's what makes this fight such an intriguing matchup, and I can't wait to see it.
What about strategy-wise? What about is there anything there? Because I feel like Daniel Cormier, I almost feel like him and his team have more of like a challenge in putting together a strategy to take Stipe down, take him out of his element.
No, it's easy. If the strategy for DC is the same as every other fight. He walks forward, throwing long combinations, which is rare for a lot of fighters. A lot of fighters throw single shots, but DC ultimately is looking to clinch. So he walks throwing single shots, utilizes a lot of head movement, and then he closes the distance. Then he gets his hands on you, and he takes you down. Once he gets you down, he lies on top of you. He looks for you to turtle, to get back to your feet, get onto all fours, onto your knees and your elbows. When you do that, he'll grab your neck and try and choke you out unconscious. That's his game plan every time. And if he can't get you down, just closing the distance and swinging the shots is what he does. Trying to land bombs, trying to rock you, trying to take you down. Rinse and repeat until either he gets the finish or the time stops and you've been more effective and you win the fight by decision. So that's his game plan. Stipe's is a little different. He's got to be careful that when he throws those long arms, that DC doesn't slip off to the left or the right, counter them and then get his arms around the body lock. But Stipe, 80-inch reach, use that jab, use the 1-2, boom, stick and move a little bit, wear him out, maybe look for the knockout. I mean, the last fight showed that DC can get knocked out, which is surprising. I mean, anyone can get knocked out, let's be honest. But when you look at DC, the way that he's built, he's not short, but for a heavyweight, he's a shorter guy. He's very, very compact, a barrel-esque build, almost no neck whatsoever, and he's got a big, big head like a bowling ball. But Jones proved that he can be knocked out, and obviously Stipe's got a habit of knocking out heavyweights after heavyweight after heavyweight. So, that is definitely a scenario that we might see. Not saying it will, not saying I'm hoping for that. I'm just saying that is a scenario which is definitely a possibility.
Let's say DC overcomes the huge task and is able to beat DC, or is able to beat Stipe, which I think we both agree if he's going to beat Stipe, it's going to be by decision. I don't think there's any way he stops him. I mean, I guess there is, but I think Stipe, he's fought a couple 5-round fights, right?
Yeah, Stipe's fought some 5-round fights. His last one against Ngannou, obviously that was 5 rounds, and I think there's been some others. But athletically, he can do that. Cardio is never an issue for him.
Yeah.
I think the only thing is Stipe isn't, a world-class jiu-jitsu practitioner, and neither is Daniel Cormier. But as I said, Cormier does look to expose people when they show their back, when they're trying to get back to the feet. So you could see a choke finish for Cormier.
Yeah.
You could see a knockout for Stipe. I'd probably say, if you had a gun to my head, that Stipe Miocic wins via decision.
Okay.
But who knows, man? DC's amazing. He really is.
DC's a monster.
So Stipe.
There's no losing here. DC steps up, fights the heavyweight champion. This is the biggest super fight, in my opinion, really ever, when you consider real super fights. You know what I'm saying? Like unifying or not unifying, but having two champions come in and fight each other. It's the biggest guys. I mean, this is it. When people talk about pound for pound, that concept, we're saying all things considered, we know the heavyweights would fuck everybody up, but if everything's considered, pound for pound, who's really the best? But even that term pound for pound is just sort of a nod to the bigger guys, and the heavyweights is like, all right, we know that these little guys would have a real hard time with these bigger guys. But let's say DC does the what would be impossible for a lot of people. What does he do with that title? Because we had him on the show, okay? And, he said that at the time, and I don't know if it's changed, maybe Harrington can shed some light on this because he's a nerd, But at the
Bow, 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 bow.
he said that he would not have to give up the title, or that, you know, him and Dana had not discussed him having to give up the light heavyweight title. What do you think is going to happen? Let's say he does it. He's going to have to give up one of these titles. If Conor did, believe me, DC does. What does he do? Go to heavyweight or just keep it the light heavyweight title? And then what do we do with the heavyweight title? Either way, one of these titles sort of becomes a little less valuable.
You know, I would rather, with the greatest of respect to Luis J. Gomez, the Puerto Rican rattlesnake, I would rather save this discussion, this hypothetical discussion, for next week if DC wins the belt. Because he may not win the belt, and I just predicted that he won't. And that's no disrespect to DC. So I don't really want to spend another 10 fucking minutes pontificating what may be in a scenario that I find highly unlikely.
Okay, let's
Do you see my logic?
DC's coming to the cage.
You're forcing me to do it.
All right, DC's coming to the cage. Nick Diaz jumps in from the outside. He's dressed up like Sting. He's got a baseball bat.
Let me stop you right there. We spent a long, long time getting this beautiful high-definition camera set up. We got these new shots. We got Lewis by the fireplace. We got me, situated nicely. Let's not waste time with your bullshit, Lewis. You fucking Nick Diaz hypothetical stories. You've always got to throw a Nick Diaz in, haven't you? Just because he smokes a bit of weed, you're like, oh, I love Nick Diaz.
He's not bad.
Love Nick Diaz.
He's not a bad guy.
Yeah.
He's very entertaining.
What is the co-main? What's the co-main? There's another big fight on. Ortega, Max Holloway.
Yes.
That is a sick fight as well. I love Max Holloway, man. I love watching that guy fight. He just brings it every time.
Yeah, Max Holloway's the man.
No?
Yeah, of course. Look, I'm super excited about this fight too. I was watching Max Holloway versus who the fuck was it? Oh my God, why am I?
Jose Aldo?
Nope.
Okay, all right. You want me to play the game of let's read Lewis's mind?
No. There we go. How did you know what's in my head? Get out of my fucking head, Harrington.
Because of the point to the ground spot.
And turn your microphone down, you goddamn son of a bitch.
Yeah, why are you so loud, Harrington? Beat it. Can we go to Shannon Cam real quick, by the way? Side note. Little Shannon Cam and Harrington Cam. There you go.
Look at this. Guys, taking it serious. Can you not smoke for once? Who are these other people in the background? What's it say on your shirt, buddy?
That's Kim
Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. I couldn't say that
and that's
to
Freddie.
You guys. Hi, Kim. How are you? Hi, Mike. Hi, guys. So you got a little posse back there. All right.
Fucking around.
Okay.
We got 2 studios here. We got a whole outdoor area.
Jesus Christ. But I'm stuck out here in L.A. by myself. Orange County, should I say.
In your 60% mansion.
I'm in a fucking very humble abode. What are you talking about? Why do you like to make out this image that, you know?
I was in that area, and I saw the way your neighbors looked at me as I ran through the neighborhood. So
that's the way everyone looks at you, Lewis. I hate to break it to you, buddy.
Okay,
all right.
Yeah,
so hold on. So all right, main event. I don't know. I don't even want to make a prediction because I like them both. But if you had a gun to my head, I would probably say Stipe Miocic. And that's with a gun to my head, forced to make a decision. I would say Stipe Miocic wins. Simply, he's the bigger guy, and he's athletic, and he's used to dealing with these types of people. Co-main event. I mean, this is a ridiculous fight card. Let me bring this up. UFC 226. Have you seen the quality of these fights? It is insane, to be honest. So have a look. You got Stipe versus DC, Max Holloway, Brian Ortega. Which is an amazing fight. Francis Ngannou versus the Black Beast, Derek Lewis. Come on, Lewis. You got no love for that?
I mean, it's great. Let me tell you something. That fight.
That's
right
not
there,
great. That is a FS1. That's a Fox Sports headliner any day of the week. Any day of the week, especially a Saturday.
It's also
typically they're on Saturdays.
If there's one fight that I would not want to get in the middle of, that would be the fight. Ngannou.
All right, hold on. Let's start like this. The
fact is, if you look at a picture of Ngannou and go, which guy's called Black Beast, you'd be like, it has to be him, right? He's got to be the Black Beast. Nope.
Well, they were both quantified as beasts, in my opinion. We had Derek Lewis in the UFC Tonight studios recently, and I don't know if you've seen it because you never watch anything that I do anyway, so you probably haven't seen it. Like, you never once chime in and say, oh, yeah, I was watching UFC Tonight, Michael. You did a great job, by the way.
Yes, eh?
You never say anything like that. But on UFC Tonight, we have a punch bag machine. You know, like you have at fairgrounds?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have one of them. And DC currently was the champion. He had the biggest score. Although it was something like 963. Although I hit over 1,000 one day, but the camera wasn't rolling. But I definitely did hit over 1,000. But anyway, the Black Beast, Derek Lewis, came in studio and he shattered Daniel Cormier's record. So trust me, he is a beast. He's bigger than what you think. So anyway, Francis Ngannou, Derek Lewis, those two. I mean, that's a sick fight. Prior to that, again, another headline-worthy fight, Michael Chiesa versus former champ Anthony Pettis. That's amazing. And then opening the card, the main card, Gokhan Saki, Khalil Roundtree, right? Maybe not household names. Gokhan Saki, very, very good kickboxing pedigree. But second fight inside the UFC, had a fantastic debut, won by a knockout. And Khalil Roundtree, he knocked someone out in his last fight. He's a very, very good fighter. That's a solid matchup. So that card from top to bottom is ridiculoso.
Yeah, and then Mike Perry's
here's the
fight on the
prelims
card too, which he's
Uriah Hall, Paulo Costa, Paul Felder, Mike Perry. I didn't even know Mike Perry was on this card.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
No, just saw it now, my friend. Yeah, look, I'm pumped. I'm gonna watch. I took off Saturday night, so I'm watching it live. I'm still debating where to watch it. Home, I like watching it at home. But can I be honest with you? When you go to a bar and you watch it at like a Hooters or whatever, just local yokel fucking bar you go to, there's something really nice about taking out the commentary, because the commentary always sort of leads you in a weird way, you know, taking out the crowd reactions and all that other stuff, and you're just sort of in an environment with fight fans that are really charged up, and it almost, I almost.
What you mean, like being in the arena?
Almost as much as being in the arena. I feel like it's debatable. I think watching certain fights at a good bar that has real fight fans is probably even better than being in the arena, because in the arena you miss a lot, dude. And you get your neck cranked if you got good seats, and then you miss a lot of shit if you have bad seats. There's really not, unless you're a UFC fighter or the fucking ring card girl, there's not a good seat in the house, to be honest with you. It's more the energy.
I disagree. There's fantastic seats in the house. I particularly enjoy the seat that I have when we what?
You fucking shill.
No. That wasn't why I was saying that.
Every seat is great at a UFC event. UFC.tm.
No, there is some shitty seats in there. It's very annoying because sometimes you get the floor seats and you got to look up. There's a lot of good seats though. I'm not saying
this
UFC
first riser.
chillness.
The first
riser is a really good place to be. Sometimes the back row on the floor can be a pain in the ass because you can't see through everyone's head. It's kind of elevated a little bit. No, when we do the desk, the analyst work from the arena, that's really good because we're really up high and we look down. Of course, you got the big screens and stuff, but you can see the octagon. The only downside of that is that a lot of the time I watch the fights on the big screen, which I want to watch it live in the octagon because there's just something about actually watching them as opposed to watching it on the screen because, as you say, you could be in a pub, but the benefit of that is we're up high, we see it well, we see all the arena, we feel the energy, but we can also put on the headphones and we can hear the commentary as well. So you get the best of both worlds. So that's a great seat. I do enjoy that. So I'll be there this weekend. Looking forward to it.
Fuck yeah, dude. So how far is the drive from Vegas? Like 3.5 hours?
3.5 hours. It depends how fast you go. The first couple of times I did it fast, but I did get pulled for speeding 4 times. No, I didn't have the Maserati back then, but I got pulled for speeding 4 times on the way to Vegas.
This is Honda Civic, Michael Bisping. This is before.
Yeah. No. Well. Sorry, pardon me. 3 times on the way there, once on the way back. On the way back, the cop, which was impressive, the cop pulled over 4 cars at once. And so we all pulled over, and I was the last. I was at the back of 4 cars. And he came over, and by then it had taken so long for him to do the first 3. He just couldn't be bothered with me anymore. He said, "Didn't you see me?" I said, "No." He said, "I was pulling everyone over, and we were all slowing down. I had my lights blaring, and you just, whoom, came flying past me super fast." But as I say, by the time he did the first 3, he couldn't be bothered anymore. He just said, "Slow down." So that paid off. Anyway. So there you go.
So wait, all right,
what are we talking about, Lewis?
The second time, real quick, side note, because we do have to get some questions going in a little bit of a shorter episode.
A little bit. We've only just started, Lewis.
We got another 25 minutes, but we have another show that streams live at 6. We started late. We had to fix everything today.
Jesus Christ! Are we going to eat into the believers' time? Hold on. What's the next podcast you got?
Dave Smith's part of the problem. Huge libertarian podcast.
Dave Smith. Well, Dave Smith is part of the problem, isn't he? Isn't he now? He's part of our fucking problem.
Hey, Michael
part of
Bisping.
my problem. part of the people that wait all week for this podcast to hear another episode, he's part of their problem. Oh, by the time Dave Smith walks in, everything will be taken care of. And by the time Dave Smith walks in, Lewis will have his fucking little position by the fireplace, all taken care of just perfectly.
Silver
You know, don't appreciate it. Don't appreciate it.
Can
Lewis.
I say this? Michael Bisping's a fucking scumbag, and I'm going to point it out right now because this piece of shit had to reboot his computer 7 times. It's always the answer. Every time Michael Bisping has a technical problem on his end, reboot it, and it fixes it every time. So I had to personally...
Yeah. Hold on. I have nothing to do with the designing the inner workings of the computer, Lewis.
He complained that I talk about the best.
If I'd have designed the computer, if I worked for Apple and I said, you know what, I've come up with this thing, it's called an iMac, and it can do all these wonderful things, but occasionally it fucked up, and the only way of fixing it was a reboot. If I had designed it, yeah, blame me, but I didn't. I bought it specifically for this fucking podcast, and I only use it for this podcast. And sometimes it gets left on in between podcasts, so it's on the whole time. So I'm like, okay, let me reboot it. But you guys had some fucking technical issue with the sound.
No, it wasn't. It was him. All the technical issues were him. I want everyone in the world to know he's complaining about himself. It's bizarre. I'm in bizarre world right now. The fucking world that I live in is crazy because it was all his doing, and then I have to troubleshoot through a phone line and a computer line, then finally figure out reboot again, reboot.
No. But anyway, listen, people don't want to hear this. Give me a topic. What did we have in the notes, Lewis? What did we have?
All right, huge event this weekend, UFC 226. We gotta talk about BetDSI because they make picking these fights even more fun. We're picking the fights left and right. This is what we do on the show. We're the best of the best. We're elite in this category, MMA podcasting, obviously. But okay, BetDSI makes it fun to pick fights you don't even give a shit about. This weekend it's super easy. Miocic versus Cormier. What are these odds, Harrington? What are the odds according to BetDSI?
Daniel Cormier is plus 205 and Stipe Miocic minus 245.
Plus 205. That means you got to put $205 down. I'm sorry, if you put $100 down, you win $205 if you were to bet on Cormier. And you said minus one.
Or Stipe minus 240.
Minus 240 for Stipe, meaning that you have to bet $240 in order to win $100. If you don't understand how the odd spreads work, Stipe is a pretty big favorite here. Daniel Cormier, dude, 2-1 underdog basically. I think that's a really, really look. I know you're sort of leaning towards Stipe, sort of, but I think that's a solid bet right there. 2-1.
Well, it is pretty good, but he's an underdog for a reason. You know, I'm not going to go against my pick purely for the ad read. You know, he's an underdog for a reason. He's a smaller guy. Stipe's the bigger guy. He kind of matches up well with him in the wrestling department, and he's been knocking people out. But either way, if you want to put a bet down without it costing you any money, go to betdsi.com and use the promo code ME25, and you'll get $25 to wager with, absolutely free, just for registering, so you can have skin in the game. You know, $25 for free, which is amazing. And again, if you use that promo code ME25, you get a 200% bonus match on any money that you put down. So, you know, put down $30, it becomes $90, so on and so forth. $10 becomes $30. So realistically, why wouldn't you register? ME25, you get $25 for free, and they'll triple your money. Not bad.
Not bad, my friend. All right, let's get back into it. Next topic.
What have we got, buddy? Come on.
I'm not going to go with what Harrington wants because this kid's got a real problem. He's a real perv.
Why? Oh, no.
No, don't bring it up. I won't bring it up.
Okay, no. Let's pull back the veil or whatever you call it.
Curtain?
Listen, the curtain. Let's peel back the curtain. One of the topics that I was suggested that we talk about was the fact, and I guess now we're doing it, but this is what I have to deal with, guys, is that you wanted to discuss that Paige Van Zandt had posted a picture of her.
Not me.
Don't pull that face.
Not me.
She posted a picture of herself with her new improved bosom on display in the bikini. I'm like, guys, come on. Did you? I'm like, guys, seriously.
For scientific purposes, real quick.
Lewis, let me speak.
Go ahead.
I'm like, look, Lewis. You know, okay, we had a little laugh when she first had the boob job, and that's all well and good. But every time she posts a picture, and by the way, you know, she's not my type, but whatever. By the way, we can't comment like 12-year-olds. Oh, Paige Van Zandt had a boob job. It sounds so childish. You know, it really does. It's a great Instagram shot, though.
I mean,
probably got a lot of likes.
Wowza. Those are cool sunglasses. Those are
can
some
we
nice sunglasses.
Honestly, Jesus Christ. Very well-made bikini.
What are those?
Are
Are those blue blocker sunglasses? What type of sunglasses is she wearing?
You're an asshole. I specifically said we're not talking about this.
I'm talking about her sunglasses.
I specifically said we're not.
Don't go that close to her sunglasses. Pull back a little bit.
It's disrespectful to Paige Van Zandt.
No, it's not.
And it's disrespectful to the intelligence level of us and our listeners.
There's a bigger picture here, okay? And I'll tell you why.
What's the bigger picture?
Forget
Come
Paige, forget anything else. She knows what the fuck she's doing. There's no disrespecting Paige here.
No, come on. Let's not get into it. Let's move on now. Let's move on.
Michael Bisping.
Yeah, you laugh. How'd you laugh?
It's true. It's not even that. I'm saying
how'd you laugh?
It's not even about being funny now. I'm saying if I'm posting a fucking gym selfie
hold on.
I'm flexing my arm.
What did I say? What did I say to you? I said, if you want to talk about fucking Paige Van Zandt looking provocative, I said, do it on one of your 20 other fucking podcasts. On this one that I'm wearing a t-shirt of, Legion of Skanks. If you want to talk about Paige Van Zandt, do it on there. I don't want to talk about Paige Van Zandt's tits on our podcast. Yes or no? Did I say that?
You did say that, and I said I didn't want to bring it up, and then you brought it up.
Are we now talking about Paige Van Zandt's tits on our podcast?
Through no fault of your own.
Through no fault of my own.
Gastelum says that Whitaker turned down a fight with him multiple times. This is what Gastelum's claiming. I believe him. Kelvin Gastelum, we've interviewed him before. He's a nice guy. He doesn't seem like a liar. Doesn't seem like a disingenuous person, or doesn't seem like somebody who's going to make up stories in order to set up a fight.
Lewis. That was a terrible segue.
That was a great segue.
There was no segue whatsoever. I get it. You want to change the subject, but say, all right, okay. Talking of big.
You know what gets on my tits? The fact that Robert Whitaker has turned down a Gastelum fight multiple times.
There you go. You know what gets on my tits?
It's a nod to you being British. That's great.
That would have been very, very cool. I say that a lot. I say it gets on my tits. All right. Well, that's a good one, though.
What do you think?
So Gastelum says that Whitaker turned him down.
Yeah, multiple times. 2 times.
I don't believe it.
Exact.
I don't believe it.
You don't
I don't believe it.
Why not?
Well, think about this logically. Hold on, where's the story? Where are we getting this quote? Because I haven't seen this quote.
Let's see. Claims he could have fought him instead of Rockhold. Where's the story from, Harrington? Where'd you pull this one up at? I saw the actual quote. Yeah.
Let me tell you why. I don't believe it's true. And by the way, I'm not saying Kelvin Gastelum's a liar. I'm saying perhaps wherever this story is coming from, originating from, is maybe misquoted or something, because Gastelum has only just now got himself in a position where he can be considered potentially, either him or Weidman, as the number one contender. So how is he turning down multiple fights with Robert Whitaker?
Let's see.
Why am I seeing someone's email inbox?
Yeah, he's trying to show us stuff. So this is from bloodyelbow.com. I thought
it looked like MMA fighting to me.
Yeah, here we go. So
can we get my email address off of me, guys?
It's not up there, is it? No, they wouldn't.
It is. I can see it on the screen.
What email address? Where's your email address on the screen? No, it's not. You mean BYM?
Oh no, you're right. You're right. It isn't. I'm looking at my monitor.
It's never me, guys. I want the fans to know it's never me.
I thought Romero would have been getting the nod, but obviously he didn't, Gastelum said. And selfishly, I was hoping they'd give it to Whitaker. Just because Romero had missed weight, he wouldn't have been getting the belt, and then we just would have created this whole scenario where I'm definitely not getting the next shot. It just wouldn't be a position where I'd be fighting for a title anytime soon. I don't get it.
Yeah, neither do I.
Yeah.
Why would you highlight that?
I mean, listen, at the end of the day, at the end of the day, maybe Gastelum gets the next shot. Maybe it's Chris Weidman. The only thing against Weidman there is that he's already fought against Gastelum is that he's already fought Weidman and he lost. Yeah. Now, prior to that, Weidman lost, was it 3 in a row? So that kind of diminishes his claim a little bit. I'd say Gastelum right now has got a better case. He just beat Jacare. He beat me before that. Prior to that, he did lose, though. So it's a tricky one. But Whittaker needs an opponent. I think he's injured right now. He's talking about coming back at the end of the year. So it'll be one of them, Gastelum or Weidman. But I actually think Gastelum gives Gastelum gives Whittaker a lot of problems. I really do. This is simply because, go on.
I was going to say Harrington highlighted the correct quote this time. If you,
okay. Oh, all right, yeah, because I'm like, last time that didn't make sense. So this episode's fucking all over the place, guys.
It's good, though.
Listen, while the video physically looks good, seamless, it's better, it's high def, 1080p, all that stuff. The fucking content's been terrible. I know he's been offered a fight against me twice, and he's not been wanting to fight me, Gastelum told Luke Thomas. And I think that's for good reason. Ooh, I think I give him the most difficult time if we step in the cage, and I think he knows that. In my opinion, I match up horribly for him. Ooh, wise word. Fighting talk there from Gastelum. Twice, eh?
Do you think that he matches up? Is there any truth to what he says? Is he a bad matchup for Whittaker?
Whittaker appears to be Weidman. Oh, Jesus Christ, can't get my words straight. Gastelum appears to be a difficult matchup for a lot of people, So, yeah, I can't see why it'd be an easy matchup. Far from it, But when you look at it and it's all said and done, in the top 5, everyone's a bad matchup for everybody. Look at Whittaker with Romero just then. You can't say that was an easy matchup. It was a difficult fight. Generally, when you're looking at the top end of the division, the top 5 of any division, unless you got a real dominant champion, unless you go back to times like Anderson Silva was just dominating and was just had a real advantage, a real edge over everybody. He just seemed to destroy everybody in highlight fashion. It's not like that anymore. Featherweight, again, top 5 is very close. Lightweight's close. Welterweight. There's a bit of a disparity at welterweight. Tyron Woodley is probably, there's a gap between him and Colby Covington, I would say, and a gap between the rest of the welterweight division. Middleweight is pretty close up there at the top. Who's the champion now? You got Whittaker, Romero, Rockhold, Gastelum, Weidman. They're all pretty evenly matched.
That asshole who had to just go and it sucks because he, at a personal, me being just a baby about it, I'm going like, fuck you, John Jones. You made me never be able to really, really, really be able to be a fan of yours. No matter what happens.
Of John Jones?
Going to look at him like he's, even beyond the other bullshit and the way, he is in the media. Can
I just highlight something that surely everyone that's downloaded this episode of this podcast at this point now has got to be thinking, wow, Lewis definitely didn't take his ADHD medication, because you just went completely off what I was talking about and just you turned John Jones.
That's not
Let's
true.
talk fucking John Jones.
That's not true.
Well, you did. I know what you were saying, because John Jones, there was a disparity between him and the next competitor, but you didn't even segue into it. You didn't say, oh, and like heavyweight, of course, John Jones. No, you didn't. You just went John Jones.
Everyone
I'm
that's
like, fucking hell, dude.
Everyone that's going to listen to this is going to go, Michael Bisping is being fucking crazy today and is out of his mind, because you were listing all the guys who were sort of head and shoulders above in their division. You'd listen a couple people, and then I said, well, John Jones was, but he had to go and fuck it up. And now I'm there, and that made me go, well,
No, you didn't. You said, God, and I can never be a full-fledged fan of John Jones again.
No, if you had your headphones in, you probably would have heard them.
No, yeah, I know, but the problem is, Lewis, I have hair and you don't. So for you, like, headphones just slide on so well. For me, I have to deal with Shannon going, Mike, your hair is sticking up at the back. Sorry, Shannon.
Shannon. Is that like half George St. Pierre, half Shannon? Well, speaking of hair, I will tell you right now, I'm happy to talk about one of our incredible sponsors, which is Keeps. Keeps is designed for guys who want to stop hair loss. It's too late for me. Way too late for me, but Michael Bisping, you got that beautiful head of hair now. Who knows what's going to happen in the future? They've got a scientific and affordable approach. Keeps is the easiest way to stop hair loss before it's too late. It really works, and it is completely safe. We've been experimenting with Michael Harrington in the studio, and Harrington is a different man. Harrington had no confidence before we put him on Keeps.
Yeah, it's true, man. I was losing hair left and right. Now, I'm taking it on a daily basis, and my hair feels thicker, fuller, and, like it's going to stay.
I'm less annoyed by him. Is that weird?
He still looks terrible, though, Lewis, if it's any consolation.
It really is true.
Thanks, Jim.
So here's the way it works, okay? Keeps offers generic versions of the only 2 FDA-approved hair loss products out there. Some of you guys have probably tried them before, but you've never gotten them this easy and for this price. Getting started with Keeps takes less than 5 minutes, and Keeps only costs $10 to $35 per month. Now you can get your first month for free. That's free. One hell of a deal for to keep your hair. There's no reason to put this off any longer. Stop hair loss today. The easy way with Keeps. Mike, let them know how they can get involved.
If you want to look as terrible as Harrington, you can definitely get involved with the action. To receive your first month of treatment for free, you can go to keeps.com/believe. Harrington, you look amazing, by the way. Just kidding. That's Keeps, KEEPS.com/believe. And that will get you a free month of treatment at keeps.com/believe. Keeps, her today, her tomorrow. Boom. Oh, do you know what? Talking of which, George St. Pierre, I saw some. I was privy to some of the sketches of what they're gonna do at the World MMA Awards. They sent me. Adam Hunter sent me all the clips, but he said, "Don't show these to anybody. Don't show them to anybody." I'm like, "Yeah, relax. I'm not going to."
And here's your
but
world
I did
exclusive.
watch them, and I must admit they were fantastic. They were really, really good. So well done, and people will thoroughly enjoy those. And maybe I need some ADHD medication, but. Yeah, they're very good. The World MMA Awards are going to be very funny this year, Lewis.
When are they?
You weren't involved.
When are they?
I don't know. Are they this week? Are they in International Fight Week?
Oh, yeah,
I don't know.
If I wanted to be involved.
If they were, that'd be relevant.
If I want to be involved in the writing of the World MMA Awards, you don't think I can make 2 fucking phone calls?
You're desperate to be involved, Lewis. Don't
You're
worry.
right. That's all I want to do. World MMA Awards. Please keep me involved, guys. Real quick,
All
before
right.
we get into some questions, because this is a fucking big topic here, and you're going to shit on it, but I don't care. Chuck versus Tito, official.
Yeah.
No date, but it's officially set under Bad Boy Promotions or something. Golden
Boy.
Sorry, not Bad Boy.
Jesus,
That's Puff Daddy.
Lewis.
That's Puff Daddy.
Yeah. I mean, I saw a story at the weekend. Tito Ortiz was saying, "Listen, I've signed up. We're just waiting on Chuck Liddell to make it final right now." Tito said, "I'm assuming we're waiting for Chuck Liddell. He's trying to get him some more money or whatever." But then Tito went into the actual deal, the breakdown of the deal or the makeup of the deal, and it's very, very interesting. Obviously, in boxing, they talk about the boxers being a true partner with the promoter, and in this sense, that's what Tito was saying. He said that Oscar De La Hoya is taking 40% of all revenue. That means pay-per-view, TV rights, the gate, merchandise, everything. He's going to take 40% of that. Obviously, that leaves 60% left over, and that will be split between Chuck and Tito. So 30%, yeah, apparently that's what Tito said in this article. So, that's a landmark deal, I would say. I've never heard of that ever happening, not in the UFC, not in Bellator. It's a pretty significant event, to be honest. That's pretty remarkable. But it all depends if anyone's going to watch. And I say that with the greatest of respect, because Chuck has been retired now for 10 years, I believe. 10 years. It's a long time, but he's still Chuck Liddell. So I'm not dumping on him there. Tito was saying if he could do 500,000 buys, then they'll be really happy, and I'm sure they will, taking 30% of that. But I don't know if they will. He was saying in the article that the last time they fought, they did 1.4 million pay-per-view buys. The last time they fought, incidentally, was UFC 66, which is when I made my pay-per-view debut. Not saying that I had anything to do with the 1.4 million pay-per-view buys, but it's a crazy fucking coincidence, Lewis. Just throwing it out there.
Who knows? I'll tell you this much. You know what I know?
What do you know?
At the very least, we know that it's not you.
Exactly.
But it's
Exactly.
not
you know.
that's we
Crazier
can say
things have
100%
happened.
certainty. You know,
Yeah. So anyway, so
who'd
they're
you fight at
expecting
that
that.
event? Who was that?
Eric Schaefer.
Eric Ravishing Red Schaefer.
Ravishing Red Schaefer. I'm surprised you know him, Lewis.
Doggy, that's when I was in. Dude, you see me as a casual fan now. I'm just busy. Back then, I was obsessed, dude.
Yeah, I'm busy as well. That's why I'm going to San Francisco, motherfucker.
Yeah, I know. I get it, Michael Bisping. You want to see me get knocked out against this fucking...
No, I'm going to make sure that you win. I'm coming to New York soon. I'm going to train you. You can come to my house. I'll train you. All that good shit. Eric Schaefer, go ahead.
I love it. So yeah, and you that was your UFC paper. What was that like? Really quick, because we got to ask some questions here, and we're only going to ask a question or two because we got to wrap up at 6. I will tell you right now, Michael Bisping, I will make myself available later on in the end of the week if you want to do another hour bonus podcast.
Let's do it. Let's do another hour at the end of the week.
This is so easy.
How was that? Well, listen, prior to being in the UFC, I was fighting on some decent promotions in England, but nothing that rivals the UFC, of course. So when you're there, maybe there was a few thousand people tops at the bigger ones, maybe 3,000 at the bigger ones, 3 or 4. I don't know. We fought at the Wembley Arena. Sorry, the Wembley Conference Center. I think it was that. Anyway, that would have been the biggest one, 2,000 or 3,000 people tops. Then I fought on the Ultimate Fighter. That was good. And then the Ultimate Fighter final was at the Hard Rock, the Pearl at the Palms. No, the Hard Rock, whatever. So the Joint at the Hard Rock, which is a small venue again, maybe, I don't know, 1,500, 2,000 people tops.
I'll be fighting there
then
on
I won
August 25th.
You're going to be fighting? Oh, really? You haven't mentioned that, Lewis. At the Hard Rock?
Not a big deal.
Well, that could be like a little trip down memory lane for me.
Yeah, that's why I did it, actually.
Maybe I'll make myself available.
Finally.
Maybe I won't.
I have all
Maybe
these
I won't.
very lofty plans. This motherfucker, here's what happens. Michael Bisping gets a couple of glasses of wine in him at the end of the night, and then he texts me. He's like, yeah, man, come out all these dates. We'll drive out to Vegas together the week
I'm not drinking.
Not even
I'm not
wine?
drinking.
Not even a glass of wine?
No, nothing. Done. This is no. Well, at least for 12 weeks, I'm doing a 12-week transformation program. No, I'm serious. We're doing a 12-week transformation program with Mike O'Hearn, who was Mr. Olympia 4 times.
Ooh.
I went to a wedding with him at the weekend. I was working out with him recently. Very, very good guy. Absolute fucking monster of a man. And yeah, we were talking about it. I've got a couple of movies coming up and I want to look good. And so he's like, okay, well, let's do it, buddy. Let's do the 12-week transformation. I'll do your diet plan. I'll do the workouts. We'll do all that shit. So, I'm on day 3, Lewis. I'm dry. I'm full of it. I'm fucking having, I must admit last night we went shopping to the mall and we went to this Greek restaurant and we sat down and my wife got a glass of wine and I just wanted a beer so fucking bad. I trudged around the fucking mall all day. Bored out my mind, like buying clothes for the kids. Have you ever? I don't know what it is with my son. He wanted shorts. He tried on about 30 pairs of shorts. Every pair of shorts didn't fit. They were too baggy or this and that, whatever. It's like it was just such a fucking pain in the ass. Anyway, we get to the restaurant. I just needed a beer so bad, but I'm like, no. I just want to prove that I can do it. I can prove that I can do it. 12 weeks. I'm 3 days in. I'm going to Vegas on Wednesday. Ooh. It's International Fire Week, but I will not be drinking any alcohol.
I don't believe you.
No, and I'll be honest. I will be honest. Vegas.
Okay.
Let me tell you about my schedule. I'm going all over the place. I'm going Calgary. I'm going all these places at weekends, Lewis, which makes the one weekend that I have very sacred.
I get it.
I will
come
not be
on
drinking.
A Monday. I got it. Monday through Thursday. Got it. Don't touch Michael Bisping's precious fucking weekend.
I'll see you there. I won't be drinking for 12 weeks.
Let's get some
questions. But I might fuck up. I might fuck up this week in Vegas because Vegas is hard. And technically, I've only just started. So I'm not really in the 12-week phase yet.
Yeah, I know.
You
could always start.
But I was talking about going from the Hard Rock to pay-per-view, but I guess we'll do that another time. Let's do a question.
Yeah. Well, so how about this? Fuck the questions. We'll do a bonus one with a bunch of questions on Thursday or Friday, and we'll just.
That's okay. Let's do a question
because I want to know. I have that question. I think it's a really interesting thing. Forget just you're doing the Hard Rock now. This is your first pay-per-view. What type of jump was that? I think that's a great question. And we have some great questions. This guy, Adam Valor, will answer this one on Wednesday. He's got a question about a street fight you got into years ago.
What? Just tell me.
No, I got it.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I swear to God.
Are you serious?
This is what he goes.
Read the question.
Only recently got into the podcast, and it's massively addictive. Great work. Question for Mike. Is it true that Mark Hodgson knocked you out with a bin lid in Clitheroe when you had a scrap when you were kids? Hold on. I have a good pal who lives in the States and knows Haji and swears it's true. Funny story either way. Thanks, Adam Valor from, London, where Mike used to go on holiday.
Llandudno.
London.
North Wales. Llandudno.
How?
Mark Hodgson? Are we
Mark
talking about Hodgie? Hodgie?
Who's that?
Mark Hodgson, if he's like really tall with ginger hair, listen, I'll be honest. He's obviously fucking romanced that one, pal, because there was an incident with the Mark Hodgson, and there was an incident involving a few of his. But let me just put it like this: it didn't go well for those boys. It didn't go well for them at all. I'd been away. All right, listen, I was a kid. My little mate, Gaz Noon, may God rest his soul. He's dead now. He died when he was 16. He was my best mate, Gareth Noon. Gaz, God bless him. He was only tiny. Gaz was a tiny little kid. And I took a day off school. I probably just told my mom that I was not well. What does that say? 3 minutes.
But you're not supposed to say anything.
3 minutes. Okay. I'll finish with this. Anytime I wanted a day off school, if my mom said, well, if you help me move the furniture around in the house, then I can have the day off. So she always wanted to, rejig it, whatever. I took a day off school. I came back in, and they've been picking on Gaz. Well, that shit's not going to fly. Gaz is only a little guy, so I went over. I said, hey, dickheads. I said, you've been picking on Gaz. He's only a little guy. Leave him alone. He went, oh, you wouldn't say that if Odgie was here. I said, fuck Odgie. I don't give a shit about Odgie. But as I was saying, I was like, ooh. I was like, ooh, I kind of do give a shit about Odgie, but, I'll
So
make
Haji
out
was a
that I
big
don't.
guy.
Yeah, he was very, very tall,
You were 16 at the time, 17. You're a kid.
No, I was like 14. He was like in the last year, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then at the end of the break, they're obviously going to told him, and he's walking towards me all aggressive, threw his school bag down and came and got in my face and like giving me these little headbutts, and we'll leave it there. But let's put. I got suspended from school after that. But
Was it because he knocked you out with a bin lid? They were like, "Don't come back here. That's
no,
embarrassing."
he didn't knock me out with a bin lid.